we are live, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. This is the evening flow for some of you, the afternoon for most, like myself. Shouts out to everybody. I'll let the chat load. Just got a nice little workout in. It's time to get it on. Let's counterpunch. Let YouTube do its thing. Notifications are going out. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? We got one on the chat. Counterpunch to the one and the only. 2 for 2. Counterpunch to you. We got 3. We're coming in slowly but surely. Hit that like button as you guys come in. Let's do some counterpunching. Let's talk some counterpunching. Peter Flischer, counterpunch to you, brother. Good evening to you. How's life treating you? Thank you guys for hitting that like button. Let's keep it in as we come in. Let's hit that like button and contribute to the notifications to everybody else. Let's change the algorithms. Soul Live, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Mario Salazar, Virgil versus Mean Machine prediction. Ortiz for decision. Mean Machine has to knock him out. Easy. I think I'll do a live on that too. This is only going to be for like 30, 40 minutes. You know, because I got to eat. I'm splendid. Thank you. How are you doing? I'm doing better, Peter. You know, I'm just recovering from COVID, and you know, of course, that's what's going on with me. I feel, you know, no more coughing and all that, no more body aches, but it's like the last of the Mohicans is like in my head. Like I get these bad headaches like back here and like right here. And it's weird. It's weird as shit. It's kind of scary, actually, because it's like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I'll take a BC powder or whatever and, you know, then take some Bear or whatnot. So, it's like, to me, I hope that's the last of it. And I hope it gets the hell out of here. But yeah, the headaches were probably worse than anything. So like the last of it, I thought was like, oh, the body aches and stuff and the sweating. No, that adds nothing to the headaches, because the headaches are not really headaches. They're like migraines. You know what I mean? Stefano Prime. Yo, Kurt, greetings from the UK. Counterpunch to you. Let's hit that like button, guys. Kamal Askan. What up? Kurt, greetings from Turkey. Counterpunch to you, Kamal. Q95. Salute, Counterpunch. Hope you're well. Ready for the final fight camp later. I am. I was born ready. Adrian Stocks, hi from Derbyshire, England. Counterpunch to you. Kamal, God bless. God bless you, brother. Leon Musa, hello to you. Mark Bardsley. What's up, Kurt? From North Wales. Counterpunch to you. Effie Solak. Do you think Fury is going to pull out again? If he does, Wilder and White should happen. If Tyson Fury pulls out due to his child, I won't be mad about that. I won't. I mean, I won't give him shit about that. Okay? That. But understand, that fight should have already happened. See, instead of bullshitting people like he's done all year, he should have done that. He should have fought Wilder, stayed out of court, saved his money, the millions he claimed that he spent to stay away from Wilder, and just fought Wilder. It's just so stupid. You know, even before the arbitration ruling, he said, well, I could fight Wilder. I'm like, you could have fought Wilder last year. You know. So, no. I won't be mad at that, and I damn sure won't be mad at White and Wilder. That actually, I think, will be a better fight, because it's fresh, it's new, it's overdue. Bars. So Fa, yeah. I will give him shit about it. Not about his kid though. I'm not playing about the kids. I'm not saying anything against kids or nothing like that. So no, I won't be mad at that. But he understand he could have fought Wilder a long time before now. Okay. Peter Flischler, I'm English, so I don't know what you were talking, but I'm glad you are better. I'm English, so I don't know what you were talking or taking. Oh, um, BC powder is like goody. It's like crushed. It's like aspirin crushed up, so it hits your bloodstream faster. But be careful. You don't want to take them shits every day, and I've kind of been taking them every day or every other day. Hell's Bells, respect Kurt, respect to you, Hell's Bells. Chris White, yes, people, good weekend to you all from Brum. Counterpunch to you, Chris. Michael J, I wonder how he will say, did I say it right or did I fuck it up? I probably did. Fish, R1 200R, put Fury in recess and watch Wilder try and weasel out of the face in White. That would be a good thing. Like, I would love to see that. I would love to see the WBC, like, take some balls. Meaning, like, I would love to see them pull a power move like that. I would love to see him pull a power move like that, because if Tyson Fury's in recess, that means White should get his fight. And if Wilder tries to say, no, I don't want to fight him, okay, then you have to ask yourself, what is the overall goal or objective of Wilder? Is it just to fight Fury and hurt him and kill him and all that shit, or is it to get his belt back? Now, I know with fighting Fury, he gets them both. He gets 2 for 1. But if he claims he wants to be the WBC heavyweight champion of the world still, he should fight White. If he doesn't want to fight White, it shows that he doesn't care about being a champion if it means fighting White to get it or to do it. That means he's just fixated on Tyson Fury. And, it's kind of like watching House Party, the original. And I'm quoting from Full Force. He was like, man, every time I get with my lady alone and I'm damn near about to ready to wax that ass, and all I can do is vision this fool, man. That's Wilder. He has a mental block or something. Marley Mason, yo. Agreed. White and Wilder for the final match. No shade to Fury, but business is business. Yeah, I would like to see that anyway. I mean, White and Wilder, that'd be a badass fight. The build-up would be fucking massive. Fucking massive. Michael J, I still don't know how Fury has bullshitted everybody when Wilder kept postponing last year, and we all had Aram stating Wilder had no case. Michael J, I'm going to counterpunch later on today with a video about that, because the usual suspects are talking shit, and I knew they were. And it's time to get them. It's time to counterpunch them. It's time to counterpunch them, because don't worry, I'll save it all the night. So stay tuned, and I'll post it kind of like in the morning. Depends on where you're at. Because dude, well, don't worry, I'll counterpunch it. Yorkie Elliott, Manchester's finest, Albert Tatlock, said he would stand in for Fury. Okay. Peter Flischer, which no one should stand in for Fury. If Fury can't fight, I think White is the guy. Just like they pulled that shit with Yordenis Ugas and Errol Spence. Okay, the same shit. They shouldn't blink. They shouldn't even blink. That should be what it is. Wilder would get spanked by White. I don't know about that one, Peter. I think who hits who with the best punch first. That's pretty much that fight. That's pretty much any heavyweight fight when you're dealing with that magnitude. You know what I mean? It's a dangerous fight for both guys. Sonny Dortmund, evening, Kurt. Honor and pleasure as always. Hope all is well. I'm hearing rumors of a Taylor versus Tank for summer 22. Talk to me, bro. Sonny, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. I would love that. I mean, that would be the fight to happen based on COVID and shit, because COVID ain't going nowhere. That shit ain't going nowhere. Mm-mm. See, even here's the thing about COVID. Even after COVID will not really be a problem, the problem will not be COVID itself. It will be the vaccine. It will be the policies and the politics behind the vaccines. That's what you will deal with. So it won't, but COVID's not going anywhere. It won't. Scance rants. Why would Wilder weasel out of fighting White? That guy White is a bum who's turned down numerous of title opportunities from all major sanctioning bodies. You have to understand, Scance rants. The Ortiz deal, I think he should have fought Ortiz. I will always think he should have fought Ortiz. I think he made instead of fighting Derek Chisora twice, I think, even though he was the last person to knock out Derek Chisora, so I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look great. See, Dillian White, if he would have fought Ortiz in 2018, do you know he wouldn't be in his position now? He wouldn't have had to take on Rivas. He wouldn't have had to take on Darius Walk after the bullshit. He wouldn't have had to fight those guys. He wouldn't have fought Povetkin probably. None of that shit would have happened. So he wouldn't have had those type fights. Why? Because had he fought Ortiz and beat Ortiz, that would have forced Wilder into a corner, or just basically forced him to be a man of his word. If he would have fought Ortiz, that shit wouldn't have happened. And he had to beat him, though. He had to beat Ortiz. But if he would have fought and beat Ortiz, that wouldn't have happened. So I kind of see what you're saying, Scance Rants, but as far as the sanctioning body stuff goes, you have to understand Dillian White was the number one on the WBC. So when you're dealing with other sanctioning bodies, it is what it is. You're talking to a person that is now in court because he's been shitted on by his own sanctioning body. Had it been me, I would have left. I would have went somewhere else. I would either I'm with Matchroom. Fuck the WBC, because the WBC is favoring, people on the other side of the street. So therefore, let me stay on my side of the street and try to make shit work over here. Because that's basically what he was doing anyhow, right? Because you fought Povetkin, a fight easier to make. You fought Oscar Rivas, which was a high anticipated fight, but easier to make. Luis Ortiz, harder fight to make, politics. Wilder, he should have had a fight at Wilder, but his sanctioning body failed him miserably. But still, other side of the street. So, yeah. Mighty Thor, what's up, Mr. Counterpunch? Counterpunch to you. I'll take all the bets. Wilder blast out White easy. Ooh. Scance Rants putting everybody on notice. He's ready to put his money where his mouth is. Peter Flisher, if you have a problem with saying Darby Shower, you should try Leon Fair Fig. Fuck all that. It's in Wales. Get the fuck out of here. Is it really a place? Nah, I don't. No. You Leon Fair. That's it. Fury knew he was in a world of trouble. That's why he faked the COVID. Captain America. You can't really argue with that. However, the COVID and his child, those are two different things. Now, you can give him shit on the COVID all day long. You won't have any arguments here because he didn't act like he had COVID. I fucking had COVID, and I know you have to stay away from people. You can't go around people. You can't do the shit that Tyson Fury was doing. Unless you just don't give a shit, in which that would be worse, really. Then you would get side-eyed ultimately, like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? Stay away. Social distance. White also turned down the AJ fight and ducked a final eliminator with Pulev. Yeah, I remember when he ducked Pulev, but he claimed Pulev wasn't that guy. But then I'm like, Pulev had one loss. So I remember that. But then Pulev got blasted out by Vlad, but he ain't lost since. He kicked every ass since AJ, and then AJ kicked his ass. But that was a long time beforehand. Wilder told him, beat Ortiz and you're next. White also turned down a fight with Brazil. I don't remember White turning down a fight with Brazil. I remember at one time Brazil said he would fight White, and then I think negotiations had begun. Talks had begun for negotiations, Jolson. But what happened, Wilder ended up fighting Dominic Brazil because the Fury fight fell through. That's what happened. Okay, so you can't blame White for that because White was going to fight Dominic Brazil for an eliminator. He was going to do that, and Dominic Brazil was on board for that. He wasn't scared of White. So yeah, that happened. James Bash, peace, Kurt. Happy Saturday. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, James. Appreciate that love, brother. Counterpunch to you. Kurt, have you got your eye on any of the upcoming American heavyweights that we probably haven't heard of in the UK? No. Michael Coffey, you know, I just placed him on the redemption list. Q95, he calling you scants. I got money on White. Let's bet. Uh-oh. Let me screenshot that. I'm gonna screenshot that. Hold on. Where's Scants Rants? Hell's bells, respect, bro. Counterpunch to you. Let me get hold on. Wilder kept postponing. How? Wilder did postpone a couple times. He did. Now the first one was the July date. The July date, it was supposed to be because of the bicep. Then it was, I think, in September, then October. And I believe what was it? I think Wilder canceled that date. And then after that date, when it moved to October, I think that's when Tyson Fury started getting a little skittish. And then after Tyson Fury started to come out, and then that contract theory bullshit, that rumor came out that, oh, well, the contract, let's say it was a misunderstanding. So someone who read it had to misunderstand, like, yo, this shit's expired, so let's move on. So after that October shit went down, that's when Wilder came out and told what he thought about his fighter, his opponent. Okay, there we go. All right, so look, I got it. I got the screenshot on this, so you guys can't get out of it. Q95, I'm here all the time. If that fight gets made, we both cash at DeVille. Ooh, that's it. I have no problem with that. I want that fight to happen. I want new fights. New fights to go down. Fuck all the rematches. Fuck all the redos and all that. That's just, look, you're wasting time. See, the thing about boxing, it repeats. Do you guys remember when fucking Manny Pacquiao fought Marquez 4 fucking times? 4 times Juan Manuel Marquez fought the baby bull. What was it? Juan Gomez? He fought him twice. Like, it was a lot of fights that shouldn't have been, Bradley fought Manny Pacquiao 3 times. Look, those motherfuckers should have been fighting somebody else. But they were running out of fighters, and they were only fighting from stable to stable. Okay, Scants Rants, he says we have a deal. Okay. James Bash, I love Dillian, but I just don't see him beating Wilder. His style of boxing favors Wilder too much. Plus, he has the tendency to run out of gas. Ooh. Appreciate that love, James Bash. Appreciate that counterpunch. Juan Diaz, that's it. Appreciate the Scants Rants. I know it was, Juan Diaz. And it's like those fights, look, I mean, they were good fights. There's some action behind them, but it's like, imagine Juan Manuel Marquez fighting Miguel Cotto at that time. You know, fights like that. Um, you know, Pacquiao versus Maidana could have been a good fight. That would have been a good fight. El Chino contra Chino. That would have been good. And I remember Maidana called out Manny Pacquiao. He said, yeah, I want him too. He said, yeah, not even his mom's voodoo can save him. You know, Pacquiao's mom used to have the voodoo and shit. Yeah. Uh-oh, Triple X. Spence faked his eye injury for sure. Wilder never postponed any fight. It was always Fury and Arum. No, it was on both sides. And listen, when you mention Wilder, you have to also include Al Heyman. Because see, even in December, I'm like, well, why couldn't they make it? They didn't want to make it on the 12th. They didn't want to make it on. It was supposed to be on the 5th. And then I think the 23rd, right? So, I mean, that wasn't all of Bob Arum. It wasn't all of Bob Arum. But Bob Arum was a greedy bastard because he was worried about the money. So, you know. But then again, if Bob and Frank did not want Tyson Fury to fight Wilder without a crowd, can you blame Tyson Fury for that? You can't blame Tyson Fury for that. You can blame Team Fury because Bob Arum and Frank Warren represents Tyson Fury. But to blame Tyson Fury himself, no, you can't do that shit. Because Tyson Fury was look, I've seen videos of him like, look, get me a date, get me a fight. Just get me a fight. He was telling Shelly Finkel that, yo, get me a date, get me a fight. What thing I can say is hope Fury's kid pulls through, and I know this ain't related to boxing. I mean, it is related to boxing. This is, Jonathan. It's related to boxing because this concerns a boxer. This is a family emergency within a boxer. There's no way else to look at the shit. So to expect a man to do this, that, and the other, okay. You're talking about a guy that was the pioneer for fucking mental illness. So if anybody can use mental illness, it could be Tyson Fury, right? Okay. Other people are using that shit now, i.e. Ryan Garcia and other shit, right? I know he came out and started that. He continued the torch of the mental illness. But honestly, when you're mentally distracted by a child passing, man, you don't know how that affects him. But then again, there's more important things than boxing. Now, people can say what they want. You can be inconsiderate. You can be selfish as fuck. Be like, a lot of Americans, we are selfish as fuck. A lot of them, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I just want to see the fight. That type of stuff. But you can't do that because, see, you're only thinking about you and what you want to see as opposed to what's really going on. Now, the COVID shit, that's bullshit. That Anthony Joshua distraction shit, the build up, the fucking used him to piggyback to fight a fight that you know you were going to fight, that's bullshit. See, it is karma, though. Karma bleeds through like a motherfucker because now it's something that actually is going to happen or could possibly happen that stops the fight from happening. Whereas other shit that you put in the way of a fight that you could have already had, now the fight that you could easily make, now it's becoming hard to make because now there are true, real issues. Counterpunch. Jeff Dallas, counterpunch to you. What's going to happen if Wilder loses to Fury? Zua, it depends on how he loses to Fury. Don't bet on White. He's tailor-made for Wilder. Short and there to be hit. Not much better than Chisora, yet more chinny than Chisora. Ooh, that's coming from Michael J. Is Dillian White chinnier than Derek Chisora? Here's the thing. Dillian White can take certain punches, and I don't think that he can take uppercuts. We know he can't take uppercuts. But does that also include, can he take left hooks? Can he take straight rights? Is his noggin strong enough to take those type of punches with that type of punch placement from that type of fighter like Deontay Wilder? That's what we're talking about, right? So can Wilder knock him out with the right? Now, mind you, Wilder is he throws the right. He's known for the right, but he also throws a right uppercut. You know, I don't think he's known as much for the right uppercut, but you know, maybe that 5 pounds of pressure, bah, maybe he can get him out of there. Who knows? Fury publicly stated that he's not going to fight Wilder because Wilder said he's a cheater. Well, yeah, Charles did. He did say that. He did say that Wilder's a cheater. He did say Wilder insulted him. That's why he's not fighting him. See, that type of shit, we all heard him say that. He should have met him in. Man, him is because see, when Fury went back on that, Kurt, where do you live? It's only 1 p.m. here in West Tennessee. It's it's almost 1 here. It's almost 1. It's 12:50. So maybe if you're in Central, in the same time zone. Zhang versus Ortiz would have been interesting. Yeah, that would have been good. I mean, it still can happen. I would like to see that. Well, I mean, it's Walter. I said evening because the UK, it's in the evening. For us, it's in the afternoon. So there you go. Because he was in court trying to get the fight. Even though Fury has his power of talk, he has Wilder's number, but secretly doubts himself. I don't know if he doubts himself. I just think he's funny with taking certain fights at certain time. But I think that whole build up with Anthony Joshua and all that, that was a big ass experiment. You know, I mean, you had to have something to sell because think about this. If Tyson Fury would have fought Deontay Wilder last year, I don't know, J Babe. I don't know. I haven't heard anything lately. I'll do some looking up after I get off of here, but I haven't heard anything lately. But if Tyson Fury would have fought Deontay Wilder for the 3rd fight last year, those numbers would have been terrible. They would have been fucking garbage. Why? Because no one really wanted to see a 3rd fight, and that's just a prolonged fight. And the fight is only based off of not people's interest, but how the contract was. So that's the only reason they're fighting is because of a contract, not because people wanted to see it. Okay? Wilder sleeps white. Wilder could sleep white. You know, the way he delivers the punch. Look. I'm going to do this. Who has better... Let me ask you guys a question, all right? All 85 of you. And the 85 that's on, hit the like button, you know, appreciate, donate, all that good stuff, right? Kurt, you got Virgil Ortiz tonight. I got him by decision. But I think Mean Machine can beat him. But we'll see. How many of you guys think that while White has better defense than Luis Ortiz? Just put D or L if you believe, so you don't have to drag it out. Who has better defense, Dillian White or Luis Ortiz? Okay, Nubasa Ortiz. Come on, guys. Give me some. Okay, L. Okay, J Babe, D. Luis Ortiz, of course. Walker Sam, Ortiz. Big Brother Almighty, Ortiz. Robert Benavidez, Ortiz. Props to Edward John Hearn, hell of a promoter, got those guys think White is any good. Peter Fisher, Ortiz. Scance Rants, Ortiz. Luis Ortiz, but White is more aggressive. Mario Salazar, nah, Ortiz is better defense. Walter Ortiz. Mighty Thor Ortiz. Michael J. White was wobbled by Rivas, almost KO'd by Parker, but saved by the belt and knocked out cold by AJ and Povetkin. Okay. Mr. Landlord. Ortiz, he don't fight no one. That's a good counter. DJ Duncan James. Yes. Kurt, what's good? Hot Fingers Ortiz. Now, of course, I don't know how to do the poll because I'm doing this from my phone. I'm just outside, just after workout, but I wanted to do a poll within the live because I heard you can do that. I know you can do that. I just don't know how yet. Luis knocks out White as was. Michael Fuller Ortiz. Jeff Dallas Ortiz, but anything could happen in heavyweight boxing. That is true, Jeff Dallas. Ortiz might have the better defense, but because of his age, he'll get tired and become more open as the fight goes on. White beats Povetkin and was injured against AJ. Mr. Landlord, behave yourself. Uh-oh. Burger Planet. What's up, Kurt? What's the topic? Everything's the topic, Burger Planet. We're talking about who has better defense now, Ortiz or Dillian White. Walker Sam says young Ortiz. Ortiz is a senior citizen, says Mario Salazar. Okay, as is. Does he have better defense than Dillian White? Hell yeah, worked out. I'm hitting that bag too. Yeah, man, I did I think 700 count jump rope, just getting back at it. Robert Benavidez, King Kong. Lee Morgan, White will press Wilder. Yeah, you'll press Wilder. I mean, that's how you fight Wilder. You press him. You don't give Wilder space to set up his big shot. That's all. That's what people fuck up. They go in there and they start to box Wilder, and then they find out this dude ain't a boxer at all. He throws a jab here and there. Okay, he might throw a wide-ass looping body shot, maybe. He throws a jab to the body. He throws a double jab upstairs and a straight right. That's pretty much the arsenal that Deontay Wilder had. And what happens when motherfuckers go in there and they find out, oh, man, bow, ooh, setting up traps, and you're able to do everything that you can do with any novice fighter. That's what happens when you go in there with Wilder. But here's the problem. Wilder knows he's good at distance. He's good at distance, and if you give him the distance, you're putting yourself in danger because the long arm motherfucker will reach and catch you with that straight right, and you don't see it coming. And he'll come with speed. He ain't slow. And people, that's how he sleeps people easily because they think, oh man, I got this dude. Pop! You're out cold, and that's what happens. Okay, so all right. What happens with White and Wilder? So, the better question is, what happened with Wilder and Ortiz? Ortiz got sleep. He went to sleep from a right hand. Now, the first fight was a good fight, and I think Wilder fought an Ortiz that he had a couple good fight. Like, that was one of his better performances. But then again, the second fight was also impressive. Luis Ortiz has won far more rounds than Wilder will ever win when these two guys, when they fought. If Wilder can catch Ortiz, and Ortiz is a counterpuncher, and we know, Ortiz plays a cat and mouse game like most Cuban fighters, right? And he's waiting for the counter on the right. So whenever Ortiz would work, he would work that jab, but he's always anticipating the counter, right? Now get this. Once Wilder throws that right, here he comes with his straight, either straight to the body, because he likes to throw that left down to the body, or he'll throw an overhand left, but he's always anticipating the counter. But that gets you in trouble. Dillian White Carlos, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I hit you back a couple times, man. I was on my way out of Waco, coming back this way. But Ortiz's best win is against Kaufman. No, it's not against Kaufman at all. His best win was against the guy that was booed against Vladimir Klitschko. What's his name? I can't remember right now. And he took his ass out. And fucking Malik Scott ran all night from him. The diver. Not Trevor Bryan. No, not Trevor Bryan. It was Brian Jennings. There you go. I know it was similar. Yeah, Brian Jennings. There you go. So, yeah, that was one of his best wins. You know, but I mean, he took some punches from Brian Jennings. And Brian Jennings is a guy, he's a smaller heavyweight. But he did do his shit. He tried to get in there with Ortiz. Ortiz is, you know, he's a bit bigger. Ortiz is probably like, he's not considered a small heavyweight. He's a pretty big dude. He has the size. You know, he might be about 6'2". Motherfucker probably was 6'4". But he's probably about 6'2.5" now, maybe. You know, so. But, I mean, you know, but you have to remember, when he fought Brian Jennings, what was that, 18? He fought no. He fought Brian Jennings, was like early 2017, late 16, something like that. And understand, that was Brian Jennings' second loss. His first was, of course, it was in 14? Get the fuck out of here. Carlos, that was in 2014. Well, yeah. He was probably 6'4" then. But you have to remember 2014 was 7 years ago. Damn. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. No. That was a long time ago. Vlad stopped him in 15. Okay. Did Vlad stop him in 15? I thought it went 12 rounds. With the jab and grab bullshit. Ortiz was 75.5. Damn. That was a long time ago. So, yeah, Ortiz been around, bro. And listen. You take 14, right? And you subtract 10 from 14. That leaves 2004, right? The knowledge, you guys seen that live stream. The knowledge came on here and said that, hey, Lennox Lewis used to spar with Luis Ortiz. I believe that shit. Think about it. 14 was 7 years ago. 10 years before that was 2004. And I think that's around when he said he was fighting him, right? Because when Lennox Lewis retired at what, 2004, right? Or 3? So it was around that time. So I could buy that. Yeah, Vlad didn't stop Jennings. I didn't think. Yeah, I seen that fight. It was a boring fucking fight. I think it was in New York. Can't remember. Was it in Madison Square Garden? And that was the last time Vlad fought in America. They were like, fuck this shit. Jennings versus Ortiz, 2016. Was it 16? Luis fought Jennings, because I can't look it up. I'm on my phone, so I'm not on my computer, and I can just look back. Fought Jennings on December 15th. December of 15. Okay. Well, shit. He got his ass whooped twice that year, didn't he? Now. Kurt, can you do Trump running PBC, protecting the WBC heavyweights, dissing AJ with all the other belts? You know what? That's actually some funny shit. I give it a try, actually. Let's get those likes up. We got 115 people in here. Let's get those likes up. Pacquiao versus Ugas. Who you got, boss? Man, I don't know. I like Ugas. Maybe Ugas might upset Manny. But see, here's the thing. If he upsets Manny, it is what it is. And it would be bad, and I'm going to tell you why. If it goes 12 rounds and he outpoints Manny, Manny's going to want a rematch. Then he'll be fighting longer. Then they're going to whore Manny Pacquiao out. And Manny Pacquiao be 45 years old, still trying to fight. I can fight Spence now that I defeated Ugas. Because I still want to fight. Fuck. You know, because Ugas is a countering. Because, see, Ugas is one of those guys that may that Pac may run into a straight right that he will never see. Because Ugas can pull that Juan Manuel Marquez shit out of his ass. He's just that way. Cubans, bro, cat and mouse. They know how to counter before they know how to fucking damn near walk. Necesito un control. Un control. Necesito un control. Es muy importante. Hacer it. But Ortiz versus David would have been funnier, Mr. Landlord. I think Manny has at least 2 fights left. Man, Jay, fight Ugas, run for president. Win, lose, or draw, man. You know, just get the fuck out without taking too much punishment. Because listen, even though you may not feel bad once you retire, don't mean that shit won't come back and bite you in the ass. Ortiz clips White. If he fucks White up, I mean, people will know. And I'm going to tell you again, if Luis Ortiz beats Dillian White, Deontay Wilder, win, lose, or draw, will be that guy. I told y'all. Didn't I tell you? Tyson Fury cheated. Luis Ortiz was better than all of them. He would have whooped AJ ass too. That's why they didn't want to fight. That's why they didn't want to fight me, because I did that to them. I was the one that did that to him. Bars. I told you. That's why he didn't want to fight him in the first place. That old motherfucking Cuban gonna whoop every ass over there except mine, because I got the equalizer. Because I spoke it, believed it, and I received it. Pitrog best. Oh, Dimitri Pitrog? Yeah, that was a bad guy. I don't even know what really happened to him. People, you know what? Dimitri Pitrog should have a documentary. You know, kind of like a Ika Barabucci kind of. He was like exactly like that. Nobody knew what the fuck happened to him. Well, we knew what happened to Ika Barabucci, but we don't know what happened to Dimitri Pitrog. Matter of fact, I believe they had the same record. Ika Barabucci was 20-0, no losses, no draws, with 15 KOs. I think Dimitri Pitrog. Somebody, can someone look up Dimitri Pitrog right now? And I think it's 20-0, no draws with 15 KOs too. I think. I could be wrong, but if I'm looking at these numbers right, Dimitri Pitrog and Ika Barabucci had the same record. Can someone look that up for me real quick? Can someone look up well, not Ike's. Just look up Dimitri. I know Ike's record. Look up Dimitri Pitrog's record. Please, someone. And then hit the like button if you haven't. And donate $100 a piece. Donate. Appreciate. Ike, great boxer. Did anybody look it up? What do we got? 20-0. King KO, 20-0 and what? 15 KOs, right? Somebody, how many knockouts does Dimitri Pitrog have? Exactly. Both of them have the identical record. And both went out unsung. Yep, I thought so. And it just hit me like, wait a minute, don't he have 15 KOs too? Yep. Fucking slept. He didn't really sleep, Danny. But he hit Danny. He hit the Magic Man before the Magic Man was the Magic Man. You know, back when Danny Jacobs had the cornrows and shit? He hit Danny Jacobs. And what was fucked up about it? It was kind of controversial to me because I was the only one that really talked about that and, you know, reported that fact. But he did what you call shifting. Gennady Golovkin he got known for it, but Dimitri Pitrog, you know, that would have been a fucking fight. Pitrog versus Golovkin, because Pitrog had he had some head movement and he had some rhythm, bro. He had some rhythm in his shit. But then he would every so often he would shift his feet and then he would give more leverage to the punch that's on the back foot. Then he throws that. Yo, he knocked Danny. He caught Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs was down, and Danny Jacobs basically did like a Wilder, a Fury in the Wilder for one fight. Pitrook, yeah. Oh my God, I pressed buttons by accident. How do I reverse it? My bad, I'm on my phone. Merle Dixon, yeah, just hit that little squirrely thing, it'll flip back. Kurt, you watching the Oscar De La Hoya fight? Yeah. Yeah, I'll watch it. Why not? I see old Oscar De La Hoya. Pitrook suffered a back injury. Yeah, I know, but like, what type? Like, what the fuck was he doing? Was he slamming? What the fuck was he at work? Was he at a construction site? What, you know, what happened to him? That doesn't, I know, you read that and I read the same thing. I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's still like, what the fuck happened to him? Particulars. Particulars, people. Kurt, how you watching the Oscar De La Hoya fight tonight? Kurt, you watching? Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm watching it tonight. Pitrug means pie in Russian. I didn't know that. I prefer Pitrug though. Sounds cool. Like Pitrug. I am Pitrug. I can knock you out, bitch. What does that mean? It means pie. Like pie. Like I pie? No, like I fucking kill you. You're gonna watch the Virgil Ortiz fight tonight. I am. What fight comes on tonight? Ortiz. Not Ortiz. De La Hoya and the UFC gat. And Mean Machine versus Ortiz. Yeah, it was Ortiz. AJ versus Usyk. Yeah. Those are two different scenarios. My man Salvador Sanchez at 126 featherweight. Those title defenses in 2 years against Danny the Little Red twice, Gomez and Azuma Nelson. That's the man there, Salvador. Yeah, but Salvador was beaten. But yeah, he was also a bad mother sucker though. You know, he had a nephew that is also named Salvador Sanchez, and he was in but he looked like he had the fucking curly ass hair. I don't know what the hell that was about. He had some bushy curly hair, he had a fro, and he looked like his uncle, but he couldn't fight like him. He got fucked off. Hey Kurt, are you planning to go live for tonight's fights? Yeah, I am. Kurt, who you think rates higher historically, Canelo or De La Hoya? Well, see, De La Hoya, Canelo Alvarez. If you start at the beginning, De La Hoya has more accolades as far as his amateur career. You got a 90 guy that fought through the 2000s, and you got a guy from the late 2000s in the end decade of the 2000s that's fighting to this day. Man, that's a good one. It's a real good one because based on the accomplishments, De La Hoya is what, a five division champion. Damn. And it's like Canelo, he just started, he was like a Felix Trinidad. He started at 17. Felix started at 15. So, you know, that's all he knows is like pro, but he, you know, he's a pro, definitely a professional. Footwork, De La Hoya got Canelo. You know, Canelo has great upper body movement, head movement. He's perfected his shit. Whereas De La Hoya, though, he can bounce on them feet. He can do a shuffle like a fucking Bruce Lee or Muhammad Ali. You know, he'll put his hands down. You know what I mean? He sets up traps like that. You know, he had a perfect left hook to Obakar when they fought back in '99. I think it was May of '99, I think. I was looking on ESPN boxing schedule and I didn't see Oscar De La Hoya fighting tonight. Damn. Canelo, LOL, Floyd, great. I thought Oscar was a 6-weight. Maybe he was 6-weight. Maybe he was. Wait, okay. 126, 130, 135, 140, 147, 154. Yeah, he's 6-time, yeah. Because he went up to fight Bernard to try to be 7, and he got hit to the fucking liver, and he was out. That was the first person and only person that stopped De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins. Oscar's record, even pre-Trinidad, was a murderous row. Fought the best at their best. Yeah, he did. He did. Now, there was fighters, though, that he didn't fight, but Oscar damn near fought everyone. Like Winky Wright, Vernon Forrest were the two fighters that he did not fight. That would have definitely gave him fucking problems. Vernon Forrest, big welterweight, would have definitely gave him problems at 147 or 154. It didn't matter because at that time, 147 and 154 was interchangeable. Those guys fought each other, all of these motherfuckers. Now, you could claim, what about other fights that didn't get made? Like Trinidad, Corte. I always wanted to see that fight. And me knowing what I know about Corte and Trinidad, I just couldn't see Trinidad beating Corte. Why? Because of the style. Corte was murderous with that jab. He had a bazooka jab. That jab was like a straight right hand. Robert Benavidez, absolutely. I don't see Trinidad throwing as wide as punches as he was. Maybe he could catch. I don't see it. I just don't. I think Corte would have punished Trinidad. Big mouth. Salute. Ike beat Oscar, in my opinion. A lot of people, that was a controversial fight. That 116, 112 scorecard was fishy as fuck. But karma's a bitch because that same year, remember he fought Ike Corte, he fought Obakar, then he fought Felix Trinidad, right? Oscar was a cokehead. Come on, Randy. Where's your empathy, brother? It was a substance abuse problem. But he won a decision that a lot of people didn't think that he's supposed to win. He knocked out Obakar, which Obakar was beaten by Trinidad and Ike Corte. Then he loses a decision against Trinidad. Go figure. Right? Kurt, do you like the Golden Boy versus the Bazooka? I did. I did like that fight. I remember the 6th round was classic. De La Hoya caught him with a left hook in an exchange. Ike Corte gets up, catches him with a left uppercut, drops him. El Qazi 1971, counterpunch to you. Oscar didn't get busted for PEDs. No, he didn't. No. A lot of people did, but he wasn't one of them. So, and then Ike Corte started to punish De La Hoya in that round. And Oscar's dad was outside there, and that motherfucker was like, go, go. He was telling people to, get this motherfucker on the wraps before you get your ass knocked out. So, but no, like fights like that though, that you didn't see, I think didn't happen for certain reasons. Because look at how easy it was for Winky Wright to dismantle Felix Trinidad. It was a fucked up style for him. Someone like Wright, he's popping him. He don't have to put full punches. That's one thing about Winky Wright. He didn't hit you with his full power. He touched you. He touched you. And when he touched you, round after round, you eventually swole. He fucked Trinidad up. Remember Trinidad came in with that fucking perm? Yeah, he jabbed his face off Murley. Yeah, but Trinidad was waiting for something that never came. You remember that damn perm Trinidad had? It was the only time he came out with a perm. He hurried up and shaved that shit off. Trinidad lost 3 fights. One to Bernard Hopkins. The second was to Winky Wright. And the third was to Roy Jones Jr. Okay? All Hall of Famers. All Hall of Famers. But no. So imagine someone that jabbed Trinidad to death taking on the ultimate jabber with a bazooka jab. Come on now. That's Ike Corte. Ike Corte would have punished, because Ike Corte was and then whenever you tried to come, he would either come back or he would catch you with the right, set you up. Look what he did to Jose Luis Lopez. He fucking landed 316 jabs. He broke a record on this guy's face for landing a jab. Floyd, great boxer of all time. Yeah, but see, here's the thing about Floyd. Floyd was the young buck at that time. He was younger than all those guys. See, Floyd is what, 44 years old now. He turned 44 back in February, right? Okay, understand where his age is now, and you look at everyone else. Look at De La Hoya. De La Hoya's 48. Trinidad, 48. Icorte, 50. Winky Wright, 48, 49. So they had a good 4 or 5 years on him. And even when he fought De La Hoya, De La Hoya was a lot older than him. He's 4 years older, right? So he's like a half a decade. So a lot of these guys that kind of Floyd missed those guys in those fights. Okay? Due to the fact he was just younger. That's how it is. I mean, it ain't his fault, but that pinnacle of those guys would have, in Floyd fighting, it's a lot different than fighting someone like Icorte versus fighting someone like Victor Ortiz. The pedigree's different. Yeah, he fought Sugar Shane. Sugar Shane's fucking 50. I know he's 50, 51, because he's a couple years older than. Yeah, he was 14 and De La Hoya was 12 when they fought in the Olympics. Yeah, so he's 51 years old. Okay? Floyd fought him when he was old. He's 38 years old when Floyd fought him. Floyd was 33 or 32, 33, right? So, yeah, there you go. Those type of things. So Floyd was that young buck in that era. He was in that era, but he was younger. So he kind of got out of that kind of toughest motherfucking fight, because the toughest fight that he fought through a split decision, which was De La Hoya. Because a lot of people thought De La Hoya beat him. But no knockdowns, no draws, just a tough, drawn-out fight. De La Hoya Floyd did some beautiful counterpunching. He got off first a lot of those times in those middle rounds, but the pressure belonged to Oscar De La Hoya. And see, Floyd, understand something too. Floyd wasn't respected to be wanting to fight. A lot of people, it's not the fact they ducked Floyd because they thought Floyd would beat him. They just didn't want to fight. There was no money in it. See, everybody wanted De La Hoya. De La Hoya is the cash cow, was the cash cow. Everybody wanted that. Everybody wanted that fight. That was the guy that everybody wanted to fight at the time. Shit. Look at Sugar Shane. Sugar Shane bypassed the fight with Floyd at 135 because Floyd was at 130 just to fight De La Hoya. He beat De La Hoya. So it was a good decision. But that shows you, like, dude, De La Hoya, he's the golden boy. I'm going to fight the golden boy. I ain't going to fight fucking the silver boy. I ain't fighting little Floyd. You talking about Floyd Mayweather Sr.'s son? That's who he was. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was Floyd Mayweather Sr.'s son. That's who he was. Oscar was robbed in a Mosley rematch. Yeah, I remember when Oscar came in with because he was then trained by Floyd Mayweather Sr. But someone fast like Sugar Shane, he could get in and out real quick, throw massive combinations, and he had a hell of a punch. And it just shows you how tough De La Hoya was, because Sugar Shane knocked motherfuckers out, people. Jesse James Leija, Juan Diaz, those guys. Like, he knocked these motherfuckers out. No, Antonio Diaz, not Juan Diaz. Antonio Diaz was the older brother of Juan Diaz, right? So he knocked him out. He was the first one that stopped him. He was the first one that dropped him. Bars. So, yeah, that guy. Yeah, Sugar Shane was hell. But Sugar Shane, De La Hoya, Trinidad, Icorte, you had these slew of guys. If you put them against the welterweights of today, no, they would kick every ass. And I would say that with every fighter. I'm talking about Thurman. I'm talking about Sean Porter. I'm talking about Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence would probably be one of the guys that could hang with those welterweights, back then. Yeah. Classic fights. Speaking of Errol Spence, imagine him fighting a bigger welterweight like himself, Vernon Forrest. God bless the dead. Think of that fight. Forrest versus Floyd would have been good. Yeah, but think about Forrest versus Errol Spence. See, those fights, listen, people like, hey, man, why was he undefeated? Well, later part of his life, he was the cash cow. He could do what the fuck he wanted to do, so he could pick his own fights. But A lot of times it was just straight fortune that he didn't fight those fucking guys. See, a lot of those guys, you know, from a guy like Floyd, if you had a good jab and great defense, you could beat Floyd Mayweather. Someone like Ike Cortez, you know, I think Floyd would get in. He would have some success from jabbing over, you know, that pull counter over the jab. But then he would have to time that. So it would be a good fight because Ike Cortez would come in with a simple, because when you tried to open up on Ike Cortez, he would just sit there, because he was physically strong. Okay, he was physically strong. The Hitman versus Spence. Who you got at 147? Two body punching fools. I don't know. That's a good fight because I give it to Spence. I'm gonna tell you why I give it to Spence. Spence, I think, is tougher. I think it would be a competitive until Spence opened up and hit him with power. Because I think it would go back and forth until, kind of like how he fought Kell Brook. Mayorga would be great in the division today. Imagine Ricardo Mayorga and Adrian Broner. That would be hell. Hearn wasn't durable. Correction, that's what you think would beat who? That's what you think would beat Floyd. Yeah, well, that's what I do think. Exactly, Bruce Leroy. The legendary Bruce Leroy catching bullets with his teeth. Middle box J.A. Kurt, massive respect from England. Counterpunch. Counterpunch to you. Oscar arguably lost 2 of his last 3 fights before he fought Mayweather. KO'd by Hopkins. Got a gift against the Italian dude. Oh, the Italian dude. You mean the German dude? You talking about damn it, man. What's his name? At 160, yeah. Oh, the Motor City Cobra, that Hitman. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Hitman Ricky. Oh, no. No, wait a minute. That's a difference. Because, see, Hearn, I don't know. No, I give it to Hearn. Why? Hearn had a fucking awesome right hand, and he could punch you and with angles. If he can give Sugar Ray all types of fucking trouble, he could KO Errol Spence, because Errol Spence has good defense, but it's not great defense. He's not just Felix Stern. Thank you, Scance Rants. You know, so that's who really beat Oscar De La Hoya. I saw that fight about 4 years ago. I remember where I was at. I was actually in New Jersey, waiting on my ex-fiance at the time, and I watched that fight because I was like, let me watch that shit. So I watched that fight. So, but no, Hitman with that right hand, he could sit back, set that jab up, bow, and land it. You know, and he can turn with nah. I give it to the Motor City Cobra. There you go. On behalf of all UK fans, damn, it's a big ass bumblebee. Look at the size of this damn thing. Look at this, guys. Look at that fucking thing. Look at that. That's a bumblebee, man. Damn. Anyway. On behalf of all UK fans, give White his shot. The WBC are a disgrace. Kurt, you don't watch any of the fight camp fights today. Yeah. Actually, I'm about to jump off of here, eat me a little something. I'm going to jump back on. I'm going to go on Pep Talk UK and hang out with him for maybe 20 minutes or so. Then I will start my own live stream. Until then, you guys think, is that a clenbuterol beat? Dude, I have no idea. That motherfucker's big, though. He's big as shit. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in. I'll see you later today. Everybody, it's been Counterpunch. I'm going to cook something to eat. Until next time. Peace.